Come in. How you doing?
How you doing?
All right. I'm Miss Jameson. I'll be your caseworker. How you doing?
Fine with you?
All right. So, tell me what brings you in today. How can I help you?
I have some deep-seated root problems from my childhood.
Okay. Can you explain to me what about your childhood is bothering you?
The way I was raised, the way things, when I was a kid, the way I was brought up.
Okay. What about that?
I came through a tough time when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I watched my mother and father go after each other verbally a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And there was three of us, and I think we suffered the most because we seen our parents misbehaving.
Who is we?
Me and my brother and sister.
Okay. How did y'all suffer?
I watched my father verbally abuse my mother, say all kinds of things to her, hurt her, made her cry. And I was a little guy at the time, and I couldn't help it. And I just sit there and watch.
I see that this is bothering you.
Yeah.
You can keep explaining. I'm listening. I'm here to listen.
Mm-hmm. And I reached out to help my mother, and I found out I was the focus of the verbal abuse and the punishment when I reached out to help my moms.
Okay. So what you're saying is that you tried to help your mom because she was getting abused.
Yeah, verbally.
And then you got attacked in the process?
Right.
Okay, and how did that make you feel?
Kind of bad. I wanted to help my mom more than anything. But I remember my dad said something one time really hurt my mom's, and I sassed my dad, and I got one right across the face.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you weren't the only child home, right?
I had two of the siblings, a sister and my brother. And my sister always go off with my older sister, and she had her own place at the time. And my other brother, he had friends, so we just been me and my sister got us at the time. And always, different ways.
So did you feel like you had to protect her?
Well, my sister or my mom.
Yeah, both.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was the biggest out of all three, out of all two.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So how does all of this affect you today as an adult?
I try to shake it off.
Mm-hmm.
The way I was raised, I try to shake it off. I get involved in the church. I try to get back to the community. I see other kids going through the things that I went through now. I try to help them by, the feeding program at church. And I try to counsel them, and I try to talk to them and tell them to be strong and, whatever they're going through, just pray a lot.
Right. So what has helped you got through what you went through? So you say you help kids to your church. Who was there for you?
Basically, nobody. No, God was. Yeah, I prayed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you felt that gave you strength?
Yeah, I prayed a lot.
So going back, can you tell me more about your childhood?
Okay, I was a problem child. I always used to get in trouble at school.
Why do you say problem child?
Because, I didn't have nobody to talk to who would vent, to tell them what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I had that bottle up inside me in school, and I used to play football, and I used to take out my anger on the other guys by hitting them. That helped. And I get home, the same thing starts over and over and over again. It's like a roller coaster. And then I got old enough, I started leaving the house, going different places on my own, taking off, in other words, trying to get away. I found myself getting put out the house. And I slept on the front porch a lot of times.
How did that make you feel?
Not wanted.
Right. I understand that.
When your brothers and sisters in the house and you're out the house, how that make you feel? I just pray a lot. So, it is kind of messed me up as a child. And my mother came to my rescue several times, and she got verbal abuse, and I stood up for my moms, and things just happened. I became the focus of the anger.
Right.
Because I choose to stand for moms.
Have you ever tried to talk to your dad and try to tell him how you feel and how it's affecting you in school?
My dad was a hard knock. He didn't want to hear nothing.
So you never tried?
No.
Were you afraid of him?
Yes. At the time, because I was a kid.
When you said kid, how old?
About 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Around that
Oh,
age.
okay, about teenager.
Yeah.
So you never tried to talk to him?
Mm-mm. It's
Did
always
you
been
talk to your mom a lot?
Yeah, it always been a confrontation when I talk to Dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna knock you, I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna put you out, and all that crap, you know. And I was a kid, I didn't want to hear that, you know. I was into being a child. So, I said, yeah, whatever, Dad. You know,
So how about your mom?
Mom would sit me down and talk to me and tell me it'll be all right. You know, just, you gotta go through this. She was apologizing to me. So I try to sympathize with Mom because, you know, I said, one day I'll be a man and I'll be able to help you.
Okay, I'm trying to gather everything you said. So basically, you told me that as a child, you were verbally abused from your father, and your mother was abused as well. And you tried
Right.
to help her, and you was basically scared of him. The only way you could, I guess, overcome that is by taking your anger out on in sports.
Yeah.
So now we're here today because this is still bothering you as an adult.
Right.
And you told me that you get involved with church and you help the kids.
Right. Through a feeding program.
So has that helped out a lot, or you still think you need? So I was going to ask you, have you ever tried family counseling?
I never thought about trying family counseling. I always was the one who tried to do or give more. I thought about the family counseling, but I never went, you know, in depth with it. So I might look that way.
Okay.
But the kids at the church helped me a lot through the feeding program. That kind of like helped me vent all my frustration. Because I see other kids. Are like coming up in that kind of atmosphere, and then coming to church yelling, screaming, acting crazy, and I'll sit them down and try to talk to them because I see something deep is going on. So I talk to them, and they just kind of open up, say things ain't right at home.
Oh, okay.
You know,
So when a child tells you that, how does that make you feel? Does it make you
make me
of
think.
what happened to
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
So how are you able to help them when they tell you that?
Then sit down and try to make them laugh or smile,
Right.
make them forget their pain. So that kind of work. Then plus you give them a hot meal. They focus on that. Then you give them the word of the Lord.
Right. So have you discussed all of this with your wife? Does she know about these things?
I tell her little bits and pieces of it, and I don't want to scare her away or make her think, wow, who did I marry? You know what I mean? I tell her enough so she can understand. So I break it to her gently. I don't want to get her upset or anything like that.
Why do you think you would upset her?
Because my wife is kind of like on the emotional side. And I don't think she can handle because you get overloaded and she says, oh God, you know, who are you? You know, so I keep some things from her.
So you're afraid of being judged from your wife?
Yeah.
So, like I mentioned, the family counseling. So you don't think that would be a good idea to bring her?
I have to talk to her first about this, but I think that'd be good
Well, I
for me.
mean, you can just go first and see how you like it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it would probably benefit both of you.
Yeah.
You're on the same page if you bring her. How do you think about that?
That'd be good. I should check it out first. Let's see if I like it. I'll talk to him and see if we're on the same page. And if I agree with it, then I can bring her in.
Well, is there any thing else you would like to talk to me about?
No, just that part of time in my life that happened. And it bothered me because I wanted to do great things. I wanted to go higher in life. But hey, I was dealt that hand.
So you feel like you couldn't achieve your goals?
I had other friends and cousins that went on to do great things.
Right.
And I growed up with those guys. They became teachers. You know, they went to college. But, you know, some things blocked me. Because I had the potential. And I see my other
What
cousins.
blocked you?
at home, a home atmosphere. How can a child achieve what he wants to achieve when he's listening to this every night? You know what I'm saying? And I go to school depressed, can't focus, always getting in trouble. Then Dad come back and the teacher tell my dad, what's going on, Dad? He jumped time, whatever you want to call it, and take out his frustration. He won't listen to me, but he listened to the teacher. I'm wrong. So, you know.
Well, I'm sorry you had to go through these things, and hopefully, if we schedule an appointment, if you would like to come back for the family counselor, that would help you out a lot.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So if you give me a few minutes, I can get you set up with a family counselor if you would like that.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in. Just hold on tight, okay?
thank you.